So that's great. When you come to the country, learn the language and network because you're part of the community. So speaking of network, now we met through the salon series. It's cool. Like now people want to know like, okay, how did we get to work together? Because you showed the story. I forgot about this, because
It was because I asked you to take picture of you.
yeah, because I was very subconscious about myself. Even though I was like a flamboyant, like when I say flamboyant, not in terms of mannerisms, I'm talking about like I literally dressed polarizing. I would have a gold chain with like a medallion and like a cheetah print shirt and like I was off, man. I was really off. I had a big glasses
And bald.
and bald and huge beard.
Yes.
I try to be so ugly as much as I possibly can, but
You got it.
And I did.
I just
Yeah.
just kidding.
But yeah, so what was the first thing you did? We did the photo shoot.
Yeah, we did
and
the photo
highlight.
shoot, but I didn't. Back then, I didn't speak very well English like I do today. I hope. And the only thing, because I saw you and I was like, this is a character. So
Yeah,
I take
yeah.
a picture of this guy. So I went to you and I asked you, are you interested in me taking portraits of you? And you agree. And we went to the Highline Park.
Highline Park
and
and 14th
it was
Street. It's like
winter.
very winter. It was
It
cold.
was winter. It was
Oh
cold.
my gosh.
But we got really cool portraits.
Right, I remember that.
And back then I didn't have the equipment I had today, so but still we got really
Amazing shots,
cool
yeah.
shots.
And I'll post some above here somewhere. I'll post it around here with like the shots or in the screen. But yeah, so from there, what was the second thing we did? Because we did that, and then I know we did. I know for some reason we were doing photos, and then I know.
I think we went to Broken Chains rehearsal.
Okay, Broken Chain. So back then, there's another thing. Back then, I used to play with a rock and roll band. It was a Christian rock band, and at first it was a Mayo bass singer, and then you got Saeed Renaud, and then Juice Alexador. Jerry Alexador is the founder. You had what was the name? Colin Wright on drums. You had, first it was Shakespeare on bass, and then it became Marcus.
And I really believe I still have those pictures.
You saw the pictures? Yeah, I have them too.
We went to Astoria.
Astoria, yeah. Astoria Soundworks. It was the rehearsal there.
It was rehearsal.
Man, yeah, it was amazing. Willie Brown, he was the guitar player before I came in there. It was amazing. Those guys all went to do amazing things. Matthias, Patrick, keyboard player. You got Super Angerville. All these guys. I still contact a lot of them. Yeah, you really helped us as far as image and quality stuff because we were broke and not say broke. We limited resources. Broken. He said it. Broken chains. Yo, amazing. We had an album, and we was doing gigs around the city and being like they call it urban Christian rock band in New York. There's not too many Christian rock bands that were like hard rock, and with the gospel soul into it. And it was great that you was there at the beginning, capturing this whole
I remember
everything.
it was the beginning.
The very beginning. And then Lewis came, he helped him, we did events and stuff. And
yeah, in Brooklyn.
Yes. It was awesome.
And it was when I met Luis as well.
Yes, that's when you met Lewis. Yeah, Lewis, as you met the other time when he came into Lynchburg, and he's the director, and I know Lewis since high school, so we know each other for a long time. So it's cool that we got to intertwine together and everything. And then from there, I felt like, okay, the band, we broke up, not for bad reasons. Obviously, Colin, went on, got the gig, and everyone else did their own thing, production and stuff. So I'm left with I'm doing a lot of production for TV and film and for artists and stuff. So me and him, we kind of packed. It was like, hey, I've been doing a lot of stuff. At that time, a little bit before you, or during the time I met you, I did a lot of work with Metro PCS and doing a lot of, video work. So I knew how to edit. I just didn't have no camera stuff. So I was like, you know what? Let's do something, You shoot and I edit and we make money together. And then,
I just bought the Canon 5D Mark II. And my main thing was photography because I'm a photographer first. And this guy told me, listen, that camera shoots video. I was, oh, really? So let's start shooting video.
Yeah. You start shooting video, man. I'm telling you, shoot after shoot. Then we did the whole thing with Corey John and the whole thing with Fashion Week. And then You want to talk about like, fashion, the whole experience? And
Yeah, and I took me to work for some dance companies in Fashion Week, and yeah, I have done a lot of really cool stuff.
right.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
man.
start working with Alberto, with Monty.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
All the clients that I had before I moved to Lynchburg, I wanted to touch a topic because I didn't know how big it was until obviously we found out when Helena passed away and the situation.
Helena.
But
Oh my
yeah,
God.
like Helena Hutchins, such a great soul. So while we were doing Fashion Week, the first one with Coopery, their designers worked with the artist Corey John, who had Corey John did Fela Kuti, the whole Broadway show. That's the dance company, so he was part of that. And Cooper Reed did a lot of his design work, and so when we got him on board was to kind of capture Fashion Night Out, and I was playing guitar with the DJ and stuff. It was good, so it was a
And
great
I was
experience.
supposed to film.
You was he was filming, and Helena. Like, how did you meet Helena at the time? Because I remember she was in not grad school. She was in film school in
New York City.
NYU. Yeah,
No, she was in
other one,
New York Film
New
Academy.
York Film Academy. Yeah. So in the
But
beginning,
it was interesting because as a photographer, you choose your brand,
right,
Canon or Nikon or Hasselblad or whatever, and we rarely mix the brands. Like
Right.
you never took a Canon body and put a Nikon
adapter,
lens.
yeah.
Like as a photographer knows, like you usually don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in 14th Street. I used to take these walks and photograph people and places. So I saw Helena, and she was using a Canon D7D with a Nikon lens. And I went like, interesting.
Yeah,
But
right,
I
right.
didn't talk to her. Like I saw her, like next to me. I saw her, and I was like, Because obviously you have to be close enough to see
Yeah.
what's going on. And,
Right.
like, And but I didn't talk to her. And funny thing, when like hour later or 2 hours maybe, I was on the train on my way back to the Bronx,
Mm-hmm.
and in one of the stations she got in and sat next to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, I have to ask her, why are you using a Canon?
Why are you
Canon
using it wrong,
body,
girl?
yeah, in a Nikon lens? And she explained to me that it was because she wasn't doing photography; she was doing actual film.
Oh.
And she explained me that the image that you can get from the sensor of a Canon 7D and mixed with the Nikon lens is a really really nice image. And it makes sense for the people who makes film. It will make sense that you choose the glass that fits your needs, and or the glass that you like the most. Like,
Right.
So
she taught you that baking.
yes.
Oh, that's smart.
And
That's
then
cool.
I told her that I was a photographer myself, and with I told her let's go out and shoot
Go in
something.
the field, yeah.
And I was kind of showing her the city around.
She was new to New York.
She was new.
Oh, she was brand new to New York. I thought she
Not
lived there,
brand new,
but she was just getting out getting out more
like,
outside of the
yes.
academy. That's wow. That's great. So technically, her first gig was that fashion thing, right? Like her night gig. Like
I don't know if in New York City, she had something before. But yes, that was one of the
fashion.
first
Wow.
fashion shows that she was with us. We invited her to hang out with us, and we all had our cameras and we shoot the
like
event.
we was in a green room. We was capturing as much possible, all the things that was happening. It's still on Vimeo. Like
It's still there.
yeah, it's amazing. You did an amazing job. You, Helena, like capturing the whole thing. Cordell was there too.
Cordell was there.
Oh my God, Cordell. Oh my gosh. So it was. I feel like that time in New York, that year and that next year, I feel like that was like the gold. I feel like that was the golden era of New York because that was when musicians were collaborating with a lot of dancers and artists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what happened years after that, but that was the time where it was really good. Like people was playing live music a lot, and there was not much restrictions. Like there was turning,
No, really.
there was turning so many places. It could be like a furniture store that was doing shows, and like that was that time.
Actually, that was a furniture store.
It was a furniture store,
a
and
really
they turned
cool furniture.
Yeah,
I think it was a furniture store.
yeah, very expensive. But we turned it out. Miguel actually performed there like the night before or something like that, because he was performing with Cooper. He was performing with his clothes. He did like a solo guitar set there, so it was really nice that we were there, part of history. You know what I'm saying? And she was such an amazing soul. Like I only met her twice. There, and then there was a party somewhere.
I hung out with her a little while until she moved to LA, and she was amazing.
Yeah, she was awesome.
My God,
yeah,
I really miss her. She was amazing. She taught me a lot, and I tried to teach her. 'Cause she was studying film, and she was teaching me film, and I was teaching her photography.
Mm-hmm.
And I was amazing time. It was an amazing time knowing her and hanging out with her in New York City. And too bad that she left us like that.
Yeah, it was very odd. It shocked me because I found out in the news. I was like, Kalina, that sounds familiar. And then I saw a photo. I was like, the first person to contact was you.
Yeah.
Was you.
I couldn't believe it. I was working, and when I heard the news, and I was like, can be.
Yeah. Man.
Can be.
But like, yeah, she really
so talented.
And she was so humble. Like she was buying us like sushi and all these things in the back. Like, you don't have to do that. Like she was so nice. She was like, so high
remember,
in life.
I just met her like when I met her, it was my birthday as well. I don't know. I really remember. We went to Central Park.
We did such a separate park. That's true.
And,
it was me, you, and
she was there.
She was there. Yeah, that's true. That was the last
really
picture.
Nice.
Me, you, Ingrid, and her, and other person. Wow, that's true.
Another friend of mine. Back in the days, I was taking classes at NYU.
Yeah.
And it was one of my classmates also, and but she was there, and she was really cool because we were. She didn't know it was my birthday, and when I told her it was my birthday, she was like, "Oh, let's celebrate."
That's true. She was just
so cool,
she was so in the
really
moment,
nice.
man.
Like,
wow, that's true.
So lovely.
Wow, man. So that happened, and I guess we transitioned to the time where we did all the shoots and everything, and I was more into my producer bag, doing the whole beat battle thing and getting into publishing deals, staying in red and stuff. So I knew at the point, because I was the type of person where I could go to New York with my guitar or camera, I could get in anywhere, like literally anywhere. It's like, oh, I'm going to get this gig. So even if they didn't have me as a guitar, I'm like, oh, you need film, you need video. So it came to the point where it's like, okay, I'm noticing in that landscape, there's a lot of artists that needed content, that needed high quality content. And he at the time didn't do video editing. So I was like, you know what? At the time I was like thinking, I'm not going to be in New York for a long time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get as much gigs and then edit and then put in his name, because I know I'm not going to be there. So I don't want people coming to me editing and then I don't do more music. So
I don't do editing.
I know, but I had to have him there, and it was great. It worked out. So
yeah, it worked out. Actually, the video we shoot for this show, Beat Battle.
The Beat Battle, yeah, the Beat Battle
came out really cool.
It came out amazing, and they used it Hot 97. So Hot 97 had these beat battles, and you had Illmind, you had Rock Wilder, you had all these big super producers come through, and his video that comes out, right? And usually when you hire your own,
that happens in the other.
It happens. Well. It's like when you hire your own video crew, of course you want that best thing. It came to the point where our stuff was so good, the company that hired the other company hired him instead. They was like, "Oh, we love what you did." So like these people, it's like we was taking gigs left and right. Like, oh, yeah, that had a good video, but our video was so like
it was nice,
emotional. It was high quality. We did,
and it was hard. It was hard to shoot it because it was really dark.
It was dark, yeah,
dark.
So we was taking gigs left and right. Like I was like, Louis, yo man, listen, we got to get this. So even for the gigs that I was playing with the artists, and I just put like a little snippet. I get a call or I get a message from the manager like, "Hey, do you have the rest of the things?" Like, yeah. But it's like, "Oh, how much? And guess what? We got paid for it because this is what they needed."
I was told that the one we did for Fashion Week, it was exposed somewhere in UK or they were used there.
Really?
Yes, like it was like something big.
We gotta look on it. We gotta look for it. Yeah, we sometimes we didn't know at the time. So eventually, what I guess I'm trying to tell you is like for those who's listening here who are musicians or artists, you know, like it's good to have a collaborator that's outside of your discipline. Like for me, the fact that I had a background in video, but almost I'm a music producer, and he didn't know much video, but he actually have the camera equipment to do so. It made so much
And a
sense
good
that
eye.
yeah, he had a great eye. So it's a flex where you could go to a show and you play guitar or you play piano, whatever instrument, and you have your own photographer who does video. So what that does to you is this: you're increasing your brand awareness, so people know like you always get quality. So when people see your video on Facebook or MySpace at the time, I don't know, or like Instagram, which is
MySpace, I
yeah,
think I
yeah,
used
yeah,
it like twice.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
So people see that they're like, wait, who did your work? You know what I'm saying? They're like, this looks amazing. You know what I'm saying? Because we
Yeah.
always did. I had my Panasonic camera in the back with the mixer, so I had a nice wide sound, and then I mixed it with your front, videos.
Yeah, I always was at the front.
So it worked out to the point where like when you build a personal brand, it never had to be something that was a risk, because I knew that. I say every time we did a show, I felt like he got hired to do something because somebody saw the material that I posted from with his camera, and then they're hiring him. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I learned when you're a musician or artist, or even a business. Like have your own personal videographer or photographer, because on the long run, you're not only helping your business and you look good, you're also helping that business as well. Because years later, all these people that we work with now, they're big. You know what I'm saying? Now, then you could
Some
be like,
of them
hey,
are really big.
there's a lot of them are big, pretty big. And I could really say that if it wasn't for Daniel, the branding of them, as far as getting funding for anything, just having them look good, it would not have been considered if it wasn't for him being in the right place in the right time. So that's why I wanted to bring him here, because if it wasn't for this guy, I probably wouldn't have these deals, because electronic press kit, you need
to
a
have
video and an
proof.
audio. You have to have proof, and he's the proof. He's the guy who made you look good, that made other people want to invest in you, because like, wow, if he invested in that, obviously, we had a deal. Well, obviously I didn't pay from every gig that he did with me, but he got that money in return because it turned into his clients, especially when I moved out of Brooklyn to Lynchburg. He had the material. I got his later. I got his 5D, but then he started upgrading, and now we could talk about that.
yeah.
Like, I left. We did a package. Okay, I left. I got your 5D, and like he's moving on up, because now the clients that I used to have, now he's getting the clients and he's getting more things. So tell me, after I left New York, like how was it with you transitioning from doing these photos with the dancers and models and all these organizations to like, okay, now I want to do film, like.
Well, I mean, it was, for me, film was always in my mind.
Right.
Back in the day in Mexico, I had a Handycam, 8 millimeters. It was amazing back in the days. Like, it was a professional studio camera. So, and I shoot some theater plays, and that bring me the idea of someday do film. But, didn't think about that, because first of all, we didn't have film schools back in the days.
Right.
So, and I lean and I go towards photography. But it was always in my mind, like to do film. So after doing fashion, dance companies, portraits for artists and singers and musicians, I decided to stop shooting with the DSLR and buy an actual cinema camera. So, and I decided to invest in a Canon C200.
Woo!
And I said, well, this is gonna be most the tool a school, because I'm gonna be honest with you, for those who make video, they will understand that from the DSLR to a cinema camera is a huge difference.
It's a huge difference, yeah.
Like if I remember the first time I shoot with my C200, I was so disappointed.
Oh my gosh!
So disappointed. I was like, "What did I do?"
Yeah.
I did. First of all, the cinema cameras are not cheap, even though for the standards, you can get really cheap cheap equipment. But I remember I paid $8,000 for my camera.
Whew.
And from doing really good music videos, like the Monty's video with my Canon 5D Mark IV, when I shot my first scene with the Canon C200, it was horrible. Honestly.
I was hoping it's like 5D, the Mark III to C2. Horrible.
Yes. Yeah, because like you're used to get really good images from your camera and good quality, and then I realized, oh wow, something is wrong.
Right.
So then I start studying, because I realized, no, this is another different
Sensor, there's a different everything. Yeah.
Everything is different. First, we shoot in RAW and log, something that we didn't have back in the days in
Right.
5D Mark III, 5D Mark II. We didn't have that. Now they include it, but no back in the days. So I realized that I have to learn. So I started studying, and I started shooting events. For example, I shoot a lot for Alberto Sikai,
Yeah.
my brother.
Yeah, there's a guy, Berto. Now he's killing it in Dubai. But before the pandemic, we did.
You didn't take me there.
Yeah, you didn't take us there.
And anyway, but I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I'm really happy, man.
Yeah, and I shoot a lot for Sikai, and I started learning. I started shooting short films, and I realized that this is what I want to do.
That's awesome. Wow.
This is what I want to do. After doing fashion, music, dancers, I just realized that what I really want to do, I'm not going to stop doing photography. No, I'm going to continue with.
That's the foundation of everything right there. Yeah.
But I realized that I want to do film.
That's great.
So and I started studying, and in the past I've been shooting events and bands and live music and dancers, but now I'm focusing in film, and I'm start producing after producing
The
music videos.
Music videos, yeah.
Music videos and short music videos, and I think I have the opportunity to direct one or two. I want to do film, and I'm going to start with short films.
That's great.
And so from my humble 5D Mark II, now I have my C200, I have my Blackmagic Design Pocket Cinema camera, and I have the R5C. That's an amazing camera, and that's just the beginning.
That's good as the beginning.
That's just the beginning. And from producing music videos, I've been collecting equipment.
Of course, you got to. And were you doing this all during COVID as well? Post COVID or like before COVID?
Before COVID,
it's like 2017, 18, yeah.
I started, but post COVID, through COVID, I stopped doing anything.
Right. You didn't put yourself at risk.
It was no risk, but there was a way to do it. But